Good afternoon and hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Tom. I'll be today with you. I'm a service desk manager, and you will attend today with me the webinar, XTRF Support Explain. We have still a few minutes probably to wait for the rest of the attendees. So what I would suggest, maybe let's wait till 4:05 CET time. And I will get back to you and we'll start with our meeting, okay? Hello once again, thank you for your patience. I think we can start now. It's 4:05 CET. The one question which has already been submitted, I want to confirm that the session will be recorded. So if any of you would like to have it, you'll be able to download it. And before I will start, I want to introduce once again, as some of you might join later. My name is Tomasz Leśniak, and I am a service desk manager in XTRF. I am managing the team of first and the second line of agents of support. And today I want to meet with you for a while and talk about how our support works and our approach to that whole process. So basically, just a second, please. Okay, thank you. So sorry about that. So basically, we have two approaches as a support team. The first is our JIRA tool, and the second tool, which is introduced lately, is our UserEcho. And maybe I will just now talk a bit about the UserEcho, and then I will go back to JIRA and tell you more about that, because if you are our customers, you're mostly using very often that tool too. So basically, UserEcho is a portal which has replaced our landing page in XTRF, and the nature of that portal is an open support portal. The main aim is not only to serve as a fast self-service for our customer, but also as a crowdsourcing element. And that is very useful in relation to the frequently asked questions, knowledge-based articles, and product ideas. This is very important because also this UserEcho portal is reviewed very often by our product department. And if you, for example, have an idea, it is easily accessible, and you can post ideas, or you can post questions. That questions are not always not only replied by our team in XTRF, but also by other XTRF users. And the UserEcho is accessible to everyone. So if the query is of the frequently asked question type, or a simple query about the product or about the improvement, the best way to ask is to use UserEcho. Of course, there is also the second tool, and the second tool is JIRA support system with a registered ticketing system. It's a tiered support system. That means that we have a few levels of support. What is very important about this system is the fact that it's a single case oriented system. So if you ever use that ticketing system, it's the best to, if you have, for example, 3 questions, it is also the best to create 3 separate tickets, because every question might land in a different department or different line of support, and then it's much easier and much faster and much efficient to answer or resolve your queries or issues. And of course, JIRA is available only to the registered users, the one who have support package purchased. And JIRA is the best ticket for very urgent queries, complex queries, and tickets which require more complex work, like customizations or reporting a bugs. I will of course show you in a minute how all this magic behind the tickets works and what is happening with every ticket which is created in our service desk. Before I will do it, I want to show you the UserEcho, the first thing which I mentioned on the previous slide. So as you can see, UserEcho is available inside the XTRF, that means that you can very easily navigate to that open and crowd-related support system, and you can post a query or read an articles. You can, of course, read question and answers, product development ideas, XTRF versions. There's also a lot of information about the versions we recently released. And of course, there is a knowledge base, which is all the time extended. In relation to JIRA dashboard, if you finally decided that, no, my query is not very UserEcho, is urgent, it's frustrating for me, and I want to have it solved as fast as possible, then definitely I would recommend you to create a ticket using the JIRA service desk. And once you will log in into our dashboard, you will see this this screen, which is prompting you to choose the appropriate type of the ticket. So basically, if you just have a general question about how the product functioning or how it should function, or any other question related to our product, then the first type of the ticket would be the best, which is the question. If you notice that the system behaves not as it should, and it might be a bug, then definitely second option is the best. The third option is update or upgrade. So if you would like your system to be upgraded or updated to the latest version, you can easily request that using that option. And the fourth option is XTRF is down. Sometimes it happens that your instance is not working, or is slow, or any other performance issue is occurring. Then it is very important to use that type of the ticket. Okay. And okay, thank you. Okay, and so now I'm moving to the magic behind the ticket. Sorry about that. So this is actually how our service desk is constructed. Actually, the ticket from the point of creation of the ticket is going to a person who is the first or second line agent of help desk, and that person is called the dispatcher. Dispatcher has a very important role because that person diverts tickets in a good direction. It depends on the knowledge of the agent, it depends on the priority, and it also depends on the type of ticket. So just after your ticket has been created, it is going to the dispatcher, and dispatcher is deciding who should be assigned to that ticket. The assignees in 99% will be the first or the second line agents of help desk. First line is our junior staff specialists, and the second line are our senior staff specialists. Once this ticket will be created, it might be answered already on the first or the second line, and then the case is solved and ticket is resolved. Or if it's a more complex queries, then our tiered supporting type of support is going into the action. So what is happening? For example, if we don't know in my team, how can we help you? What we are doing, we're urgently transferring your ticket to the third line of support. And our third line of support are the administrators team, and tickets which will go and will be diverted and directed to them would be all tickets related to the performance of the system, networking issues, or any other IT related problems. The second team is the implementation team. In implementation team, there is the staff of implementation team are very experienced XTRF employees, and they are able to answer all the questions which we actually are unable to answer. So they are also very helpful, and they are answering that questions which you are posting, and we don't have the full knowledge to provide you with. So then we are transferring that ticket there, and they are taking care about it, and they're investigating it. They're also very often providing you with the workarounds. If we are providing you with a workaround, there is a 50% chance that this workaround might be proposed by our first or second line agent, or it might have been suggested by one of the implementation team experts. The third line of support also covers the customization team. And customization team is the team where all tickets related to the documents customization and modification. So if you request any change in the templates which XTRF is using, or numbering schemes or directories, then this ticket will be definitely transferred to the customization team, which will take care of it. And the fourth team, it's a quality and assurance team, and that team, this will be very important for you if you, for example, will be reporting a bug to us. So before we will transfer that bug to our developers, which are the fourth line of support, which I will cover in a moment, our quality and assurance team have to make sure that the issue that had been reported is actually a bug in the system. So very often tickets are closed on at that time on conducting only third line of support. And of course, it might be also required for some extra additional information. So it happens that the ticket might travel from the third line of support to the first line of support when we are asking you for more information. And also, as you can see, the first and second line agent of help desk not only answers the tickets, but they also are the second most important duty which they have is to keep the process of communication clear and working. Of course, it might happen that the case which has been reported by yourself requires further processing, or it's much more complex, or there is actually a bug. Then this ticket is transferred to the fourth line of support, and that fourth line of support consists of developers and product owner, so product department. So if there is anything more complicated, it will definitely go to the fourth line of support, and this requires change of product and change of code. So that might be the most complex tickets, and that might be the tickets which might take a little bit more time. It depends on the release of the particular version of software when the fix will be included. Also, our fourth line of support might be covered as an external support systems. So sometimes, for example, if you are reporting issue with some integration which we provide with other software, then the fourth line of support also covers the situation when the issue has been reported to ourselves, and we are getting in touch with the support team of the provider of the software we are integrating XTRF with. And the last thing which I can, the last team which might also get in touch with the tickets and with all the case are account managers. Very often, if the case, for example, is escalated, or if there is any other additional information which are customer specific, then account manager very often will also involve in that tickets in order to bring that knowledge about yourselves, because of course account managers knows you as a client the best. So that's basically the whole process. Of course, happily, all the tickets should end up at the end of this magic story, which is case solved, ticket closed. So my team is doing what they can to sort all issues which are reported to ourselves. In relation to the tickets, of course, the customer service process, what I can say from my perspective and from my experience, not only in XTRF but also my previous experience, as a customer service person, feedback is one of the most important things which allows us to deliver the solution which is better for you, because the customer service process is for you. So this is very important for us to collect and use that feedback when we are optimizing the process. And as I wrote here, also the feedback is essential for the service improvement, and if of course also allow us to develop in the direction which is desired by you. And the feedback usually can be provided by a feedback note. This is the part of our ticketing system. It can be provided as a note after ticket resolution. So just when the ticket became resolved, you will be prompted for an answer. You can decide whether we were helpful or not, and then you can leave a note about what we could improve or what was created as you have expected. Also, the second way of collecting feedback is the periodically sent questionnaires. Those are sent by our account managers too, and they differ because while the feedback note is mostly individually ticket, it checks, or the feedback provided is about the individual ticket. In the case of questionnaires, this is the information about the overall support process quality. And we are using that, we are reviewing the process periodically, and we are also we are using your suggestions. And for example, just to show you how we use your feedback, I have information about few recent extensions and few improvements which were implemented in our process thanks to your feedback. The first thing is introducing the type of requests with a template, and this is the I'll just go back for a while. This is actually before, as you can see now on the screen, there was only one type of the request. It was just a question. So our customers suggested to create few type of requests because it will save their time and it also save our time. And that was very useful. We have also created a specific template for each type of ticket to speed up the process of reporting the issue. And that's the first thing which has been implemented recently, and it is now working. It's not it's done, but I can tell you now that there will be another type of requests. Definitely there will be a customization request, which will be introduced in the next few weeks. And in relation to the second thing which has been improved is introduction to we're trying to, I mean, it's not yet done, but we're working on it. So the second thing is the most recent questions for help desk. And like I said, because UserEcho is a portal which is very accessible and is available for everyone who is using XTRF, we are now preparing ourselves to create the separate section of the frequently asked questions from help desk, which will be visible on UserEcho. That will help you to quickly get into the answer for the questions, which are, for example, our top 100 most repeating questions on help desk. And this is also a suggestion which has been placed by our customers, and we are working on the introduction of that at the moment. And the third thing is the extension of the current post-ticket feedback. So that is also a suggestion from the customers, and we are also working on it currently. What we have been advised is that you would like to have feedback which will score more information and more aspects of the ticket, the knowledge of the agent, the speed of the response, the overall quality of customer service, and accuracy of our answers. So this is the third, I think, also very good and very important improvement on which we're working now. So so basically that's just a few words about our help desk. And I think what we can do at the moment, if you have any additional questions to myself, what I would suggest, I would just make a 5-minute break. Please post the questions, and I will do my best to answer the most of the questions. If there will be any question which is unanswered, I can also collect that questions. And if you have any specific questions later on, I have been advised that you can use our sales department team email, which is sales@xtrf.eu. And if you send an email with a question related to this webinar, I will be more than happy to answer you personally about this and provide them with the answer. So now, thank you very much for this quick presentation. I am giving you 5 minutes to collect the questions, and I will start answering them. It's 4:25. At 4:30, I will start answering the collected questions. Thanks. Okay, thank you for your patience. So we can now move to the question and answers, and I can see that we have 4 questions at this moment, and the first question is from Andrew. So Andrew is asking, the number of emails in UserEcho is overwhelming. Can I just browse the topics in XTRF and not have hundreds of emails? So basically, if you are receiving too many emails from our UserEcho, I will just try to show it now. What you can do, you can go to your user profile, and if you go to your user profile and if you go to notifications, you can choose your notifications preferences. As you can see, I have all of the notifications on because I have to have it, so I'm reading them. But if you feel like that there's too much for you, or you of course don't have to have all information, then you can choose appropriately which one are necessary for you and which are actually bothering you. Yep. So this is the place when you can choose them. And the second question which we have is, what does it mean when the tickets are answered with our UX specialists and are redesigning the feature? And this is a question from Leopoldo. So that UX specialist team is a part of our developers. If you have information from our support team that they're redesigning the feature, that means that the issue which you have posted to our ticketing system and the issue you have reported requires coding. That means basically that thing is redesigned by our UX specialists, which are also the 4th line of support, because they're also basically developers. So there is another question, how many people are in your team? So at the moment in our team, there's a question, it's a question from Ola. So currently in our team, there is 7 people. And another question is, how long does it take to train an XTRF help desk agent? So basically, as you probably noticed, XTRF is quite big system with many options. So from my experience, because I also have been a help desk agent, and of course I have been through that too, it's around between 6 and 9 months to be fully operational as a independent first line support agent, between 6 and 9 months. And there is another question from Leopoldo. Are you working on the chat or direct call option for those cases that would benefit from this approach? Currently, if there is a case which requires direct contact, we are providing the TeamViewer application. So if you require and if you want to show us something works not the way you like, the best and the fastest option to contact help desk is to use TeamViewer. There is a chat option there. There's also audio option there, and you can request for such type of for assistance in that situation. And at the moment, I think those are all questions. So to not keep you occupied more, I would like to inform you that if you have any more questions, I am highly encouraging you to contact sales@xtrf.eu, and the email has been posted in the chat, and the email is also at this slide and in my presentation. I am hoping that this short meeting was beneficial for you, that you know more about how our service desk works. And if you would like to have any more session in relation to this part actually of our organization, just also please let our sales department know, and with the suggestion which topic should I cover for you, and we can also create another session covering that. So once again, thank you very much for having you here today, and have a good evening and good afternoon, depending on the time zone you are in. Thank you very much once again. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks. Bye.